of our day. You've probably heard me talk about that and a number of different solutions that I've mentioned through this broadcast that I do here on YouTube and LinkedIn. So I'm so thankful that you're here. If you recognize maybe you've been dealing with some of the things down in that circle, and if it's not you, then who? Because 93% of us are metabolically unhealthy. And that didn't happen overnight. In fact, as we look at history, we see that it has grown and become an issue through the years. Well, this morning, as we come in here, if you're watching this live, we're going to hear from Dr. Kenny Harless about this issue, about how we got to where we are, and the solution to that, which of course is natural because we naturally got there by what we put in our pie hole, but also the opportunity for a solution that you can be a part of, that you can join in on in helping us to help others around the world. If you have a heart for other people, the people you care about, there is an opportunity for you to join in that mission. And Dr. Kenny is going to share with us about that as well. So stay tuned here as I turn this over to Dr. Kenny Harless, and we get to hear a little bit more about what this looks like for each and every one of us. So stick here for just a moment as I make this transition over to Dr. Kenny and what he is going to share with us right here.
Let you take it from there.
Megan, thank you so much. And yes, as you said, I honestly wasn't looking for this, but I feel so blessed to get the opportunity to do this. And it changed my life. And I thought, my God, if it's changed my life, why would I not do the same for others? And a year and a half ago, I nearly died from the very thing that I'm going to be sharing with you. I spent almost 2 months of my life in the hospital, and it was a disaster. I mean, I had every sign of insulin resistance. I had belly fat that would not go away. It didn't matter how much I ran on a treadmill. It didn't matter how much I restricted my calories. I was developing skin tags. I had inflammation throughout my body. My right shoulder, I couldn't sleep on it. I pitched in high school and college. I'd always been very active. Megan, kind of like you and I had spoke about before. I mean, just nothing was working. My cholesterol was going up. I had sleep apnea. God bless my wife. I mean, she even recorded it to let me hear myself, right? That was terrible. I had high blood sugar and cravings, and I was Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde all the time. And I didn't understand why. And I want to give everyone an example that I pray will make sense to you. But earlier this past year, we were able to celebrate our 20th anniversary. And we went out to eat, and we got an old fashioned to drink. And we don't drink any longer, but we did this night. Now, I bring this to your attention because if you've ever had alcohol, if you haven't, this won't make much sense. But if you have, it doesn't take much if you don't drink to feel the effects of it. Now, if we drank every day, we would need more of that thing to create the same effect. And many of us on here, I'm sure, have been told to eat every few hours to keep your metabolism elevated, right? And the problem with that is every time you eat food, your blood sugar will go up and, well, insulin will go up. Now, if you're a diabetic, you're going to inject insulin to bring it back down. And the more frequently you do this, the more resistant that our cells become. Now, all of those warning signs on the right start popping up 15 years before we lose control of our blood sugar and they diagnose you with diabetes. Now, once the diabetic diagnosis occurs, you have no longer have blood sugar control and your cardiovascular disease risk goes up 80%. Alzheimer's and dementia goes up 81%. They now call it diabetes type 3. It starts to show its face early on. You start to get brain fog and forget why you went in the room. Where are your car keys? What am I doing with my kids? These are all warning signs of this. You start to develop this sugar because your insulin can't keep it under control, and your joints, that's osteoarthritis, they tell you that it's old age. Your body's starting to pee more frequently to get rid of the sugar. It's stuffing it into your female parts. Ladies, you're getting polycystic ovarian syndrome like my wife had for 20 years. Neuropathy. I mean, I used to treat nearly 1,000 patients a week. If I told you how many cases of neuropathy, neuralgia, and sciatica that I took care of and migraine headaches, and I had no clue that it was insulin resistance. The reason I'm bringing this to your attention is because we have a huge problem. They're now finding non-alcoholic fatty liver disease in our 3-year-old children. Diabetes is out of control, and 1/3 of all teenagers in America have prediabetes. That's insulin resistance
But saying
bon
that,
voyage coming into diabetes and obesity.
it's
So we have a
crazy.
huge problem. And when I saw that, I love to find solutions. And I went on a quest. And someone cared enough about me to share this with me. And when I saw this, it really honestly blew my mind. Our company that we've partnered with, and I feel so blessed to get to work with, they realized in the 80s that, well, the drug companies created a drug called a statin to bring down cholesterol.
Right. Number one
And
med.
they realized that what was causing this issue was ripping the fiber and taking it out of the food. Well, they thought, well, let's just put the fiber back in the food. And this is what they did. This is how it started. Now, there's over 2 dozen clinical studies at places like BYU, UCLA, UNLV, Stanford, Cornell, just to name a few. The Cleveland Clinic, the number one heart institute on the planet, why would they study fiber? We're going to talk about that. Now, these products are listed in the very book that doctors kind of uses their Bible, if you will.
Right.
You can look up any
My wife.
medication, you can look up the side effects, and you can look
Yep.
up these nutraceuticals that I'm going to share with you that someone shared with me. Now, nutraceuticals means they're standardized. Physicians love this because they know batch per batch, box per box,
The same.
what the person's getting. But what they don't like with a supplement is, well, I mean, they don't know what's going to happen in each box or each batch. These are all third-party tested for herbicides and pesticides, mold, mildew, bacteria, and carcinogens, and they know dose per dose what they're getting. Now, these, because they're nutraceuticals and they're found in, the PDR, you can actually use your HSA and FSA to purchase these. These also are found now in 64 countries around the world.
Yes.
They're patented, they can't be copied, and they work so effectively. We have so much research on them that we guarantee them to anybody that uses them for 90 days. Now, here's
the thing that blows me away, because talking with a number of pharmacists about this, if you pick up that pharmaceutical, you don't get to return it. So, 90 days, that's huge.
where I was really excited. Not only are they in the PDR, not only do we guarantee them, but it's $5 and about 10 cents a day. It's less than a cup of coffee. And here's how the protocol works. It's a 3-step process. The standard American wakes up and they eat break fast thanks to Kellogg's. The word break fast means breaking your fast. And the last thing you want to do is consume refined carbohydrates where the fiber's stripped. Ask any diabetic, what are they told to drink when their blood sugar is too low? You can put that in the chat. And that's because there's no fiber in there. And the fiber keeps the blood sugar low. And if your blood sugar stays low, insulin stays low, that you either make or you take. Now, what we teach and what we do with people is we give them this incredibly delicious Willpower in a packet chlorogenic acid tea. This acts like a natural metformin and GLP-1, the shots that everybody's doing. This is Willpower. It crushes food noise and keeps your blood sugar nice, low, and stable. When insulin is low, the fat's got to go. So for breakfast, you're burning your love handles for fuel instead of eating. When you get to lunch, if you're hungry, you eat your meal. This will spike your blood sugar and break fast. Now you're going to grab your second packet of Willpower and you're going to mix that up in the bottle. It tells you exactly where to do this. You can make it hot, you can make it cold, and you sip on this between lunch and dinner. If you're anything like me, I used to have if there was food laying out, I had to eat it. I didn't understand that if it was just one pretzel, that was keeping my insulin levels elevated, and insulin is your insulating hormone. So I sip this tea till dinner. When I get to dinner, if that's my biggest meal, I'm going to use the fiber matrix, the most studied fiber on the planet. This right here is clinically proven to reduce your LDL. This is a natural statin. It brings down your triglycerides better than anything on the planet. It brings down the A1C triple better than metformin that has a black box warning. It also increases your good HDL, and it suppresses your blood sugar spikes by 43%. Well, why is that important? If your blood sugar is lower by nearly half, would you have to inject more insulin or less? And that's the protocol. It's cost neutral and it pays for itself. And if you're saving money on this protocol, feel free to put $ in the chat. Now, with this is supposed to be our competition. Well, look up statins and all the warning signs and side effects in the physician's desk reference, anything from coronary artery calcification to blindness to diabetes, increasing
This
risk of
is, yeah.
diabetes in females in menopause by 50%, to neuropathy, neuralgia, cirrhosis of the liver. The list goes on and on. Also, low libido, low estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone. I don't know many people that want to sign up for that, and they knew a different way. Also, metformin, that has a box warning. They used to call them black box. That means you can die from. And Ozempic also has a black box warning. Well, this right here acts like Ozempic, and it acts like metformin, and this acts like a statin. And bariatric surgery, if people get so frustrated and don't know what to do and know they need to lose weight, when they have the surgery done, they're told to eat 5, 6 meals a day. The problem is, even if you're eating smaller meals, every time you eat, your blood sugar goes up. Your insulin goes up. When insulin goes up, it tells your body to store fat for fuel. And when insulin's high, you cannot burn fat for fuel. And so this is why the weight comes back. So that's supposed to be our competition. Now, what I want to do is I want to highlight someone currently, and my friend Keith. And Keith is through this, and Keith has used this call. And Keith was a type 2 diabetic for 25 years. I just want to show you some validity from someone's point of view and perspective and what's happened. And then we'll go into the opportunity. And if you've been on this protocol and it's transformed you and your family's health, do me a favor and just put in the chat how it's transformed your health. Keith, thank you, brother.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. So yeah, I was type 2 diabetic for 25 years, and I was on, from day one, varying levels of medication immediately. I'd worked myself up to 15 meds a day, 6 injections a day. I had had injections in both of my eyes for diabetic complications, and it kind of came to a head in 2018 when I got diagnosed with Guillain-Barré, which is a autoimmune disorder that destroys your nervous system. And that left me with wounds that wouldn't heal, a whole different level of issues that crept in, my cholesterol roof, my neuropathy, I could barely walk. And then in January of last year, I had a foot ulcer that went septic, and it literally took my life for just under a minute. On my daughter's gender reveal party, no less. And when I came back, I made a point to get healthy. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what it looked like. And I stumbled across this product on TikTok. And I watched for about a good month, little over a month before I chose to buy the product. So my grandson's born January or June 3rd. I started the protocol on June 12th. And literally from day one, energy was through the roof. I hadn't had energy like that in probably 2 decades. Day number 2, I was off 108 units of insulin entirely, all of it. By the end of 2 months, I was down about 60 pounds, 8 inches on my waist.
Dang.
I was off 14 of the 15 medication I was on.
Jeff, that's awesome.
I felt amazing.
I bet you did.
When 90 days came around, I was off all 15 medication, no more injections in my eyes. I was down 75 pounds and 10 inches on my waist. My foot ulcer was gone. The one that took my life was completely gone. You could almost hardly tell it was ever there. And it's only gone up from there. I set up all my doctor's visits around that 90-day time frame. My eye doctor hadn't seen my eyes look this good in over 4 years. No longer need to wear glasses. My foot doctor utterly, my cardiologist couldn't believe the lab work. Everything was spot on. And my cardiologist, I came from a 200 over 100 blood pressure. And I've now been on it just over 6 months, coming up on 7, I think. And literally, I'm down over 90 pounds, 14 inches on my waist. Um, all my blood work is still spot on. I was thinking of something, but
You've
eh,
had so many things happen, you don't even know what's happened, right?
I mean, it is truly, had I not lived it, some of it, but it's all 100% accurate. There's no
You know,
BS with it.
Keith, you've been a diabetic diagnosis for how many years?
25.
I want everybody to think about this for a moment. Do they call it fixed care or managed care?
Oh, it's managed.
We're going to show you how to fix the root. That's what we do. And so, Keith, thank you so much, brother. I want to show a couple
That's the
more
root right there.
also photos of people. And Keith, I'm so grateful for you, man. Thank you for your testimony and your story. It has impacted and continues to impact so many lives and provide hope where hope wasn't, you know. And so thank you so much, brother.
Thanks.
Now, this right here, I want to show just a few more people, and then I'm going to go into the opportunity, right? So this right here is a gentleman I met, and it breaks my heart. He lives right on the border of Mexico and Texas. And in the picture on the left, this gentleman, John, was at triple digit high blood pressure numbers, both numbers. He had sleep apnea so bad he was waking up his next door neighbors, had never tasted alcohol in his life, and developed fatty liver. And this is John, 4 months apart. He's 67 years young. He's in the gym 5 to 6 days a week, reversed every one of those numbers, all through his blood work and his doctor. This is our own very Dr. Dieter, our very own. He's an internal board certified medical doctor and pediatrician. The picture on the left was Dr. Dieter eating the standard American way. The middle picture was him after he had fasted for 6 years, running 3 times a week. Many people say, why not just fast? Absolutely. Fasting is super powerful.
Huge.
Look at the turbocharge Dr. Dieter had in 2 months of using the tea and the fiber. He now recommends this to every one of his practice members. And this right here is a friend of mine, Colleen, she had type 2 diabetes. These 2 pictures are a year apart on the protocol. She reversed her type 2 through her blood work and doctor. She's off her statins, and she's on a quarter of a thyroid medication. So what I want to do now is I'm going to read a couple of these, and then we're going to get started. I want to show you this opportunity. But if you look in the chat box, lots of energy, down 20 pounds, reverse chronic fatigue, trigeminal neuralgia is gone. That's an inflammatory neurological condition. Completely a new person. Vicky, type 1 diabetic, uses 79% less insulin, down 50 pounds, lower cholesterol and blood pressure. The list goes on. But let me show you what I saw in this. And Megan, what you've also noticed, and we'll have you share. But when I saw this, I saw the potential to help people. And I thought, if I can impact people's lives, what would be better than that? And you can earn $20 to $25 every time that you get a customer. So let's say that you are the franchise owner. You want to impact people's lives, and you see this. And you have a friend whose name is Bob. And Bob observes you drinking this, and he just kind of watches your body transforming, and he just sees these changes, and you feel phenomenal. You start to share it with Bob, and Bob decides to order that through your link. You have your own discount link, and it tracks it. It's like an affiliate, and there's different ways that you can earn. So Bob uses it, and he starts getting great results, and he gets the same discount price that you and I get if you're in the business. Now, from there, Sue notices how much he's transforming, and she asks her friend Bob what he's doing. I'm just drinking this tea. And Sue's like, well, man, where do I get it? I mean, if you're looking like that, I want to be healthier too. So she takes the discount code. She's getting the same discount price with a 90-day money-back guarantee direct from manufacturer. And all of a sudden, Bob gets a $10 referral coupon each month that Sue orders. Now, because you're seeing this opportunity and you're sharing it and you've partnered, well, you're getting paid $25 on Bob every month residually that Bob orders. Every time Sue orders, you're getting paid $25 on Sue. Now, Sue's kind of like me, and she just loves to talk. And she's telling Joe and Jill, maybe their family, maybe their friends. We all want the best for our family and friends, don't we? And they start using it, and she's happy because our company gives her $10 coupons for every person she refers. And all of a sudden, because you've seen this opportunity and you've joined, you actually get paid $25 every month on Joe and Joe. And this goes on into perpetuity forever. And when I was in practice, I never saw anything like this. If a patient never came back, I didn't get paid again. It was very transactional. When I saw this, it blew my mind. Now, you can earn down 12 levels. I'm just going to focus on 3. Okay, let's just talk about 3. And you can earn 5 to 10% on those 3. Remember this.
Right.
Now, how do you get involved? Well, when I saw this, I loved I mean, I was on the product for 2 hours. I felt amazing. I reached out, incredible, my brain fog. I don't need to see anymore. I know this is legit. Let's do it. And I bought 10 boxes. I knew I was going to do it. I knew eventually my wife was going to watch me transform and she was going to do it, and she did. And so I was going to get 10 boxes sent to me for the price of 9. And I was like, I definitely know 10 people that need this protocol. I mean, does anybody on here, if you know 10 people that need help with blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, and weight control, you can do this business. Is anybody on here, if you are doing this and you have 10 customers, would you put 10 in the chat? And the best part of our business is I didn't want to have to reach out to people. I have figured out through the help of people like Trent and my partner Anne-Marie how to get people to ask me what I'm doing. And so that really took that barrier down of entry. And so you're going to get 10 boxes in the mail for the price of 9. And we're going to help you place these in the hands of people that you know and love that you want to see healthier. And they're going to pay that back, and you're going to be actually in the black. They're going to pay for your franchise model. Now, you're going to be provided by Unicity a customer link. This will track all orders off every customer all around the world. I have people in Germany, Switzerland, Latvia, Japan, all over the globe using this product. And I get paid in every time zone. It blows my mind. And you get fulfillment. I get recognition every day from people, cholesterol numbers. I had a lady the other day whose triglycerides dropped from 1,571 to 270 in 2 months. We get these kind of messages all day long. It is the most wholesome, wonderful thing I've ever been a part of. Our customer service is incredible. I can't even believe the work they do for me. It blows my mind. They allow me to be the Steve Jobs in my company and just continuously pour into my people, and they take care of those things. We have a team that provides you, that honestly partners a community with you that holds your hand. We want to help you succeed. We want you to copy our success, and we're going to show you why. And we have business building and mentoring. We have events all the time. We have training calls literally every day of the week. And we work with you and teach you the product and the business. And you're being trained and mentored by multi-millionaires. And with this, we have these social media masterclass that teach you how to get unlimited leads every single day. Now, that's what you get. You get a business in a box for $1,550. I made a one-time investment and my customers paid for my boxes. I opened a clinic in 2003 for almost $300,000. Once I had that business open and paid for, I was still making payments every month. I could never go on vacation. I was always making payments. Maybe you're in that boat. And this is what I saw. John Paul Getty, when you watch television, it says Getty Images. And he said, I would rather have 1% of 1,000 people's efforts than 100% of my own. And this is what I saw when I saw this on impacting people's lives. If you know 10 people struggling with their weight, diabetes, blood pressure, and cholesterol, you can do this business. And this opportunity to partner with, and I get to do every day, when you get 10 customers, you're going to be paid $25 on those customers. Those are your customers. And you're going to make $250 a month. At this point, your product is being paid for, and you're earning $100 a month. And if you can help five with and work with, I know Megan, your best friend is Megan and Emery, and you travel the world with them. And it really inspired me, honestly, when I saw this. And I thought, well, how fun would that be to work with people that I love, that want to make the world better, that get reimbursed for doing so. And so you look to those kind of people. And when those five people come on and you help them get 10 customers, those are not your customers. So you're not going to be paid the lion's share of 25. You're going to earn $5 to $10 on those 50 customers. And that's that other $250. Now, those five friends of yours are going to know five friends. And when they bring those five friends on, it's almost like having 25 grandbabies working for you. And each of them get 10 customers, and you're earning $5 to $10 on 250 customers. And this starts to go up, and you get paid on this every month that those people reorder. And then it goes to 25 grandbabies times five. And it just continues to go from there. And I realized that when I made this about my mission, I realized the more lives that I impacted, the more would create a commission. And so, Megan, what did you see? I'm going to have you share just a moment on what you saw about this and what drew you to this, because I saw my own father for 32 years get canned, and I promised I would never go through that. But the problem was I built a business I thought was a business, but I was self-employed. I could never take a vacation. I was never able to satellite and make other franchise opportunities for that kind of price. It was hundreds of thousands of dollars to get involved. This was 1,500. And now I help people copy my success. Is that kind of what you saw when you did this?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wasn't really looking for anything, but when I came to take a look at this protocol, this business, I mean, it wasn't a coincidence. There was a reason that I was on that call. I graduated college and I worked in a hospital for 10 years, cardiac patients, and it was fantastic. I felt like I was making an impact, but then I was seeing the same people come back through cardiac rehab every 2 years, every 3 years, and I never saw any of them come off of medications. And really my dream was to help impact people's health and make a long-term difference. And, then I did personal training on the side, but if somebody was sick or went on vacation, I didn't get paid. If I was sick or went on vacation, I didn't get paid. So I eventually found myself in the corporate world and, doing things that I didn't really feel like were making any sort of difference in the lives of people. I was negotiating contracts, and while I was making good money, it wasn't fulfilling the heart piece of me. And so when I saw this protocol, I thought, this has to be too good to be true, and started using it myself. I quickly found out it was the real deal, just like you mentioned. And so I jumped into the business, and I've been doing this 3 years, and I've out earned my corporate salary. I have now time flexibility where I can go on vacation and work a little bit while I'm on vacation. I can pick my kids up. I am, able to show up in the way that I've always wanted to, while also making that direct impact on people's lives and knowing at the end of every single day that somebody's life is just a little bit better because I'm here and I took the chance and I shared this with somebody. And I do get a lot of people asking, well, do I have to have a medical background or nutritional background to do this? And my first response is absolutely not. We have so many, that's the beauty of what we do, people with so many different backgrounds, teachers, I have pastors that I work with, parents, people so we provide support, and I just have never in 27 years ever had the support and training that I'm getting through this business.
I know too earlier, Megan, with you over the summer, you were able to travel with family, right? So you're being very humble here, but I was very intrigued by that too. I'm leaving early to go to Baltimore to speak, and I have the flexibility to do that. When I was in practice, I couldn't do that, So I was wondering too, Jim, would you be able to speak and share, brother? Grasser? Yeah, yeah. I would love. Jim's been a seasoned vet in this, and you've watched this thing grow, and I've learned a lot from Jim. And I would love for Jim to share just, your minute, what you've went through with this, brother, if you would.
On the spot. At least I'm wearing the
The you, baby.
Yeah, you know what, Dr. Kenny, thanks for having me on. I didn't expect this, so I'm not prepared. I'll just say that this is the best thing I've ever been involved with, hands down. Um, and to what Megan was just saying, I am far from a medical professional. In fact, I was barely a high school graduate. But I come into this and I try hard, and I've done the best that I could to learn all that I can about our products. We have the best products on the planet. And I've never seen a company like this. I've never in my life seen a company like this. They treat us like we are, you know, kings and queens. I've just never
Hey,
seen it.
Seelan.
You would have to experience it, and if you joined, you will. Um, they hold you on such a pedestal. You know, I'm used to working for companies who drag you down, who yell at you, who they give you a hard time. If they give you a raise, they might be, you know, percent on the year or something like this. Since I've been a business partner, I've doubled my income every year, which is I've never done that before. And you know, the beauty of this, Dr. Kenny and Megan, I know you guys both appreciate this, is it's 100% because we got to make somebody else's life better. So if your mission is, if you're looking for something, as our friend Trent would say, something that's very wholesome and pure, this checks that box. This feels really good. It feels really, really good.
Man, thank you guys so very much for that. And those of y'all that are here, I hope that this has been helpful. If you've watched this and learned from this, I'm gonna switch things around real quick, and there we go. As you come in, maybe you've got questions about this. Having gotten to listen to Dr. Kenny, listen now to Jim, listen to Megan. Listen to them as they've shared their story and how this has impacted so many, and the issue of insulin resistance. Dr. Kenny's presentation was really powerful, so simple, to the point about why we have such a problem in our world. And there is a simple solution to that. If you're interested, put it in the comments down below, or send me a message if you're coming into this later. That QR code right there takes you right to my link tree. If you want to get connected with me, learn more about this, about both the product, maybe it's you or somebody you know, or if it is something that you are interested in, the business opportunity, in the opportunity to partner in helping people get healthy, to heal. That's what we are. Our mission is to help make life better, to address the issues facing our world. And for so many who are dealing with insulin resistance and those sickness, that's why we're here. So thank y'all so much. Are there any questions that you have? Those, I see a couple of people that are in here. You're coming in as we've been talking about this, about insulin resistance, about the possibilities, that chronic issue that so many are dealing with. What resonates with you? I can tell you some of my story. In large part, my wife, Dr. G, and I were diagnosed. I was diagnosed with diabetes in 2023. My wife was pre-diabetic. She's a doctor in 2024. And she actually called up and talked to a friend who was a nurse and a diabetes educator about this very thing and about this very protocol that we're talking about right here. She started on this simple protocol. I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm saying it's simple because it really is a matter of these nutraceuticals that Dr. Kenny talked about. All right, the tea and the fiber that did the work as we use them consistently to reverse our diabetes, our insulin resistance, our chronic diseases. It changed our life. And everybody that you've heard on this call, it's changed their life. And if you know somebody that needs to have their life changed, this is a life-changing opportunity. That's what this channel is all about, is helping people to change their lives. So if it's something of interest, make sure that you send me a message. Check out the conversations that I've had with other people. We are getting ready to start our 2-week sugar detox. Again, part of metabolic health, about insulin resistance being one of the biggest problems that we have, right? That's huge. So if that's something that you'd like to join, that's how you reach out to me right there. That QR code, kenhagler.com, or message me through the site, or check in the profile link down below. again, any questions that you guys have, those of y'all coming in, I'm Coach Ken up in Anchorage, Alaska, the wellness preacher, and would love to hear where you're coming in from, as we've had the chance to have this live today to hear from Dr. Kenny Harless about insulin resistance, and those that were on here sharing their testimonials about that life change. As there are not any more comments, that's all right. Not a problem. Thank y'all for being here. Go get the day. Make it golden. Go be excellent to one another. And whatever you do, be excellent to yourself.